Good evening. I'd like to call to order the July 17th meeting of the Media Borough Council. Let's all rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have two items of business right up front here, the approval of minutes. The first item on our agenda is the June 5th, 2025 workshop meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the June 5th, 2025 workshop meeting minutes, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. The next item is our June 18th, 2025 council meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I will now ask all those in favor of approving the June 18th, 2025 council meeting minutes, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. We now come to our first opportunity for public comment and privilege of the floor. You have two chances in our meetings, one at the beginning and one toward the end. You can either come and make your comments in person, or you're welcome to email comments to us at comments@mediaborough.com. Ms. Rapino, do we have any emailed comments?
I have one so far.
Okay.
Michael Straw, West Jefferson Street. Hello, Borough Council. I wanted to discuss something on my mind when it comes to the Plum Street Mall water feature. First of all, I like the design, and it's really neat that it reflects the watershed that we're in. A job well done to those who came up with the idea. My question on the water feature that has been running in the Plum Street Mall is, what will the borough be doing with all the coins that have been tossed in the water feature? Will they be collected and given to a local charity or environmental-focused fund? This is just a thought that I had, since the coins seem to be accumulating and they aren't just pennies. Also, if there are too many coins in the water feature, many won't be able to see the writing and and design in the water feature. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. That's an interesting question. I've had that actually come from a resident as well. That's something I think we can certainly discuss. Or Brittany,
Sure,
do we have
I can just share that what we've done in years past, because we've had a fountain and there was coins put in it in times past. So Public Works does clean it up from time to time on not a set schedule, but when it reaches a certain kind of point. And that just goes into our general fund. It is not set aside for any particular organization. And the other thing that we were talking about as a Plum Street Mall project team was the fountain is new, it's fantastic, people are getting used to it, the behavior around it is, people are still getting used to it. But what's interesting is that when they see, it seems as if that since there's some coins in it, people are realizing it's more of a fountain than a splash pad. So that's also something that's kind of interesting. It's like, this is actually working to our benefit a little bit. So yeah, so we're all monitoring, but we have in times past, Public Works cleans it up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anything else, Ms. Rapino? No. Terrific. If anyone present would like to speak, please come to the microphone and identify yourself and where you live, and we'll be happy to hear from you. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to our Borough Manager's report in just a moment. I do want to take a moment to let everybody know that next week is Employee Appreciation Week in Media Borough. There are all kinds of really cool things planned. Our manager can tell you a little bit more about it, but we are thrilled with our nearly 40 employees full-time and our 25 part-time employees. The job that is done in Media Borough can't be recognized enough. The job that you do for us is just incredible. So I want to take a moment in public to just thank you all for what you do. And now I'll turn it over to our Borough Manager, Brittany Foreman. Ms. Foreman.
Thank you, Mr. President. And so speaking of Employee Appreciation Week, I certainly want to echo Council President that our employees are our greatest asset, and we have a fantastic team here in the borough. This week that's coming up, we are going to be having a number of things that are happening. I just want to turn it over to Karen Rapino, who's actually managing that, so she can share some of the things that are going to be happening publicly.
Thank you. So the employees are very excited. We haven't done this for a whole week before. We are, as I mentioned a little earlier, we're going to have on social media highlighting one or two departments each day and the employees in those departments and what they do and some of the behind-the-scenes work. So that'll be every week, every day next week. And then we're going to end our week with a employee lunch. We're having a cheesesteak bar, thanks to State Street Pub. And we are, I am creating a video for the employees that will be a little funny, I guess. Yeah, it will be. We're also going to play or have trivia that day and some yard games. Also, during the week, each day, we will be spinning a wheel with the employees' names of the departments that are being highlighted to win a prize. So,
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, so we, again, we think it's important to take time to share how important that they are as employees. So just want to, if the public, you'll see it on social media, if you have been positively impacted by the Borough staff, we ask that you would leave a positive comment, and that will be really appreciated by our staff. So a couple other items, speaking of staff and speaking of some fantastic staff. I actually am sad to report that Jill Jacobs will be leaving the department. She's actually moving out of the borough and out of the region. She has been a critical and important member of the finance department for over about 6 years now. And so we're actually going to be actively working to fill that post. The job announcement will be up later this week or early next week, and we're going to be reviewing resumes and conducting interviews on a rolling basis, because this is a very important time. Finance in the fall is a very busy season, so we're going to be trying to hope to have a hiring recommendation for you in September. Again, just want to say that Jill has been fantastic. She's a team player, so positive, such diligent work, and we're really going to miss her, and we wish her well in her future endeavors. A couple other items that I just wanted to update you about. The veterans banners, we had been talking about that at the last council meeting. We met with the VFW, and we're planning to partner with them on this Hometown Hero banners. We decided on the location of Monroe Street. When we're working on kind of messaging now with that, and Linda Rooney from our communications team, and hoping to push that out in August of the kind of eligibility and getting folks who are interested, getting their applications in. Stay tuned for details there. I wanted to update you on EMS. Excuse me. The fire company, well, as you know, we have been talking with our neighbors for many, many months about a regional EMS approach. So there's just a short-term and a long-term way to think about this. On the short term, the fire company has just put out an RFP. They're hoping to have get some administrative assistance with oversight of their EMS in the short term. But in the long term, we are still, as council has been share their interest, looking at a regional authority model. And so next month, you're going to see a kind of resolution for a joint working group to help to appoint somebody to a joint working group with other municipalities in our region to research an authority and see how that could work. So that will be before you in August as well. And finally, I just want to mention that we had a meeting with Senator Carney and Representative O'Mara today related to the mosquito drift and how the legislation that they proposed to help local municipalities have control over the mosquito drifts and mosquito fogging, particularly in dense communities. And so we had a really interesting meeting. I want to thank those legislators for pulling together all of the different stakeholders. We had the lobbyists there, we had businesses there, we had affected residents there, we had Department of Agriculture there, along with all their staff and the state legislator staff and the state legislators themselves. So it was really interesting, and we're working on both a regulatory through Department of Agriculture as well as updating and amending potentially some legislation. So we'll see, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. And that concludes my report.
Great, thank you very much. Are there any questions for our manager? Hearing none, we will move on to our engineer, Mr. Mattson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, my written report was submitted earlier. A couple of project updates and a number of different things. Plum Street, again, is substantially complete. We did receive word that there's some final furniture which will be arriving at the site, or I should say arriving in the States, August 12th, and then it has to make its way through one of the ports in New York and then make its way down to Philadelphia. So hopefully August. So the bigger bulk furniture, the things like the sunblock chairs, the shorter tables, or pardon me, shorter benches. So the site really should have a cleaner finished product overall. I think overall I think the residents and guests are getting used to the idea of the fountain and sort of behavior around there. And I think the site turned out really well. I think we're really fortunate to have such a happy outcome to that project. Again, we have the Ridge Road project, again, is in its final checks and balances to make sure that that's okay to go out to letting. That should be this summer. It should be either this month or next month. Again, we did receive a grant for that project to help control flooding and make those green and gray improvements up on North Ridge. Our road program, our local road program, we had our bid opening. We submitted all of the paperwork to PennDOT in June. It was under review. I think we received one round of comments from the municipal services rep. And I think that we are just short of getting the green light for that project. So once we receive the final, I think there was one thing that PennDOT needed. We'll give that notice to proceed to the contractor, who is Moore Brothers. And then we have the three projects out, the traffic calming projects. It's the Lemon and Jefferson. I think the bid opening there is August 6th. That is the improvements behind Hill Seafood down at Lemon and Jefferson to do the bump outs. So there'll be a nice improvement. And we received a grant from CDBG, or from Delaware County Office of Housing and Community Development for that project. We also have the Holly House Crossing, that rapid rectangular flashing beacon, and then the 11 ADA ramps, which were also funded by a grant from our friends at Delaware County. So made it a very, very busy place. And we did also receive, just this week, the full land development application for the new car wash, which is the former site of the Rite Aid, right next to the hotel. So a lot happening in town.
Great, thank you.
Unless there's any other questions, do you want to talk on the speed bump policy?
Yes, please.
So I think that there was a request to have some supplemental amendments to the speed bump policy. So I had a chance to connect with Mike Green. I had a chance to review the speed bump policy. We met in transportation. We talked about some of the inputs that were received from our friends at LTAP. And the recommendations that I put forward are to have three supplemental conditions for the speed bump policy. First, there was consideration about narrower streets. Since none of the streets in the borough are identical, all the neighborhoods are unique. They all have sort of different flavors and behaviors of motorists. The recommendation is to extend one of the recommendations to include the evaluation of blocks with a functional thoroughfare of 14 feet or less. So some of the streets get very narrow. One of the requests that came in was to have the speed bump policy apply to narrower streets. The second one was whether or not the triggering event would be collisions. So collision things like the scraping of cars or the hitting of turn signals or small crashes, fender benders. And when I had prepared this, I thought to myself, in some cases, some of those things are reported to the police or to the insurance companies. But if residents are able to provide proof that there was an incident and provide to the borough either images or documentation that there was a repair, that to me would be satisfactory. Within a 1-year period, I would say 3 events would be a nice triggering event to warrant a temporary speed bump. And then lastly, some of these cases do get a little bit marginal as far as whether or not they would trigger a speed bump or not. So I thought it would be helpful to have an appeal process. So if a group of residents from a neighborhood wanted to have an appeal, they could petition, and then my office could review the conditions, review the street, review the circumstances to sort of be the agent of the appeal. So those are my 3 recommendations for revisions to the speed bump policy.
And my question, is this something that can be handled administratively, or do we, as a council, need to put this in place?
So, that's a really good question. So I'm trying to remember what we did for the first temporary speed bump policy. But the idea, though, is if we were to amend the policy, then the implementation of it would be completely administrative.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But I'm trying to remember if we actually voted on the policy in the very beginning.
I don't recall, but I do
we
think
did.
you should.
We did.
You should.
I think we
Have
should,
a resolution that sets it out and
Okay.
get the
So
buy-in.
could this be in like August or
Absolutely.
September? Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. So I would ask my colleagues, take a look at these recommendations, get back to Trey for the Transportation Committee, or me. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to Kevin. because he can explain the thinking of this. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other questions for our engineer?
That concludes my report.
Great. Hearing none, we will move on to our solicitor's report. Mr. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't have anything to report tonight.
Great. We're now up to the mayor's report, and you may notice the mayor is not physically with us, but he is on the phone. He wasn't able to be here tonight, but he is there. Hello, Mayor.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Mayor. I was going to
Sorry.
read the police report, if you had any comments you wanted to make before I do that.
Yeah. Why don't you do it, and I may add to it.
Okay, great. So for the month of June, there were 743 calls, and among them were 108 traffic stops, resulting in 89 warnings, 19 motor vehicle violations, and in addition to that, there was one motor vehicle theft. One public drunkenness, which is good. We had 29 traffic accidents, and some other issues, about a dozen disorderly conducts, domestic disputes. But I just want to shout out our police department for doing a great job with the traffic stops, making people aware of what is and is not acceptable, and doing their best to de-escalate situations so that they don't get to the point where it is a dangerous circumstance. Mayor, is there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, this is one of the highest we ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Over 700 is really
Yeah,
high.
it's quite a few, but again, 100
There
of
were
those were stops, traffic stops. Yeah.
And Sunny and the Stars got cut short last night, as you probably know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So, but they had a good part of it.
it has been a
But
tough
that's
year.
all I have. That's all I have. So.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very
Okay.
much. All right, very good. Any questions for the mayor? Hearing none, we'll move on now to our council committee reports. We'll start with our Transportation Committee. Councilmember Trey Herman. Mr. Herman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no liaison announcements, so I will jump right into this month's education topic, which is around construction sites. The town of Media is alive with frequent streams of construction work. While navigating through construction zones, please remember to slow down and stay alert. Pay close attention to signs indicating those indicating lane closures, reduced speeds, and detours. Remember, signs are there for you. Flaggers may also be there to guide traffic, so follow their instructions carefully. The last thing to keep in mind while driving through construction sites is to expect the unexpected. Construction zones can be unpredictable. Prepare for changes in traffic flow, lane shifts, and potential hazards. Moving on. I'd like to make a resolution. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2025-31, the Ridge Road TASA, and approval of reimbursement agreement.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Can you explain a little bit about this?
Sure. Again, this is for our Ridge Road project, which has both stormwater and traffic calming elements to it. This is a longstanding grant agreement with PennDOT, and funds are flowing from federal government, and it requires a lot more paperwork. We actually did approve this reimbursement agreement and did a resolution, but it was a couple of years back. And so they're requiring us to do it again. After this is really the last step before they actually go out to let the project or put it out publicly. And so hopefully this will kick off the process to get a contractor on board and get this project in the ground.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving resolution number 2025-31, the Ridge Road TASA, and approval of reimbursement agreement, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Next up, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-32, the DCED MTF grant application for bollards.
Motion has been made with a smile and seconded.
Second.
Is there a second? Yes. And seconded. Any discussion on the matter? If we open it up, Trey might speak for an hour.
How much time do you got for bollard talks?
Will this get us into the World Bollard Association?
I will just add that I appreciate council continual support of this. This is our third grant application. We did not get the first one. We're still waiting to hear back from the second, but we won't hear till November for the LSA grant. So we know how important it is to council. We know how important it is to our chief and the MBA and for our residents. So we thought it was prudent to put in a third application. So
Terrific.
Here, here.
thank you for your support.
You bet. Any more comment? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving resolution number 2025-32, the DCED MTF grant application for bollards, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay, and Trey, I will hold you back.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries unanimously, enthusiastically, and loudly.
Oh, yes. Last but not least, we need to, item number 5, to accept the bid from Moore Brothers Enterprise LLC in the amount of $121,656.58 for the 2025 road program, and I make that in the form of a motion.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the bid from Moore Brothers Enterprises LLC in the amount of $121,656.58 for the 2025 road program, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
That concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Herman? Hearing none, we'll move on to Properties and Public Works. Councilmember Joy Washington. Ms. Washington?
All right, thank you, Mr. President. I have no liaison announcements for this month. First item of business is the authorization of the sale of a 2013 Ford Explorer on municipal. I believe this is just selling an older car, and the sale of that car will be going back into the operating fund as a newer car was purchased. It's a police car.
Great. We don't need a number on this, do we? Mr. Scott? Oh, it's just to advertise it? Got it. This isn't the sale, this is just the advertisement. Got it. Great, thank you. Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of authorizing the sale of the 2013 Ford Explorer on municipal, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Next item of business is the authorization to go out to bid for borough facility maintenance contract. I'm going to kick this over to Brittany for more context.
Sure. So we currently have Reisinger as our facility maintenance contractor, and they have been fantastic as we completed a Borough Hall upgrades over the last several years. And so this is a way to go out and have a maintenance contract in which we don't have to every single year go out to bid, but we can do a multi-year maintenance contract. And we, of course, pay prevailing wages. And so, yeah, the contract is ending with Reisinger, so we need to go out for another multi-year contract.
Okay, I'll just put that up in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of authorizing to go out to bid for a borough facility maintenance contract, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
All right, thank you. And my final item of business is the easement agreement between the borough and Anthony Sabatelli with respect to borough property located on Ridley Creek Road. I'm going to kick this off to our solicitor, Scott, for more context.
So this is in response to a request from the owner of this property that abuts the borough's property, which is former Media Water Authority property. It's a 4 or 5 acre parcel that's located in Upper Providence and Middletown Townships, I believe. The adjacent property owner has a building that encroaches in a very small, it goes over the boundary, the corner of his building lands on borough property. This condition has been in place for decades. He has requested that we sell an easement, that the borough sell him an easement so that a future owner of his building is not at risk for being told to tear down the corner of their property that's on the borough's property. If you have it, you are, I'm asking that you consider it tonight, but you do not have to. And if you have questions, we can certainly discuss them in executive session because it's a real estate matter that's appropriate for executive session. But the proposal is for them to pay the appraised value, which is $45,000, plus the cost of the appraisal, which is a few more thousand, so approximately $48,000
Okay, thank you.
for something that most people don't know the borough owns and doesn't use. The one wrinkle I'd add is this is subject to an aqua ground lease, and I need to see if we need any aqua consent. So even if you approve it tonight, I still have to get over that hurdle.
Thank you.
Yep, and put that up in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
I have one question. Mr. Scott, I was wondering, we had talked about lease. They currently do lease payments. Do you know if that's continuing? Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Hearing no more discussion, all those in favor of approving the easement agreement between the Borough and Anthony Sabatelli with respect to Borough property located on Ridley Creek Road, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Motion passes 6-1.
And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Washington? Very good. Moving on now to our Finance and Media Business Authority with Vice President Elizabeth Romaine. Ms. Romaine.
Thanks, President Paycoff. I have a couple of announcements tonight on behalf of the Media Business Authority. First, I wanted to just bring attention to a couple of things that we've actually discussed in different meetings, but really wanted to kind of pull it together and wrap it up and tie it nicely with a bow. We had discussed the 10-minute parking, free parking in the State Street District through the Passport app. This is something that really was triggered by some conversations with media business owners coming to public meeting, writing to us, and really asking to work with us with our parking policies to make them a little bit more friendly for business. So, they had sort of outlined their concerns. We came back, the Transportation Committee discussed them. We've all sort of maybe discussed them in different committees, came together as a council, and we did pass this 10-minute free parking via the Passport app policy. It rolled out a couple of weeks ago, so I just kind of wanted to, bring that to everyone's attention. I just benefited from it the other day. But again, this is a really great example of us sort of listening to one of our stakeholders and making a change. So I'm really happy that we are able to deliver this, and hopefully we'll continue to get feedback from our businesses. The other thing I wanted to flag is that we did start doing trash pickup on Sundays. So we had been getting some feedback that the trash along State Street was really overflowing. We are constantly having events, and it was a really warm and wonderful spring, and we were getting a lot of people coming to our downtown area, and on Sunday morning, the trash was overflowing. So now there is a trash pickup on Sundays. Right now, it's a pilot program, so I think we authorize it through October or so, where we'll reassess and see if it's something that we might want to look into budgeting for 2026. So if anyone has any feedback, please let us know. But I'm really excited to see if this improves sort of the experience of walking down State Street on a Sunday. Yes, sorry.
I just wanted to also say that's only for the State Street District.
Only for,
right
yes,
now.
only for the State Street District. One thing I wanted to share with council is that the MBA has been working on an event to honor our mayor, Mayor Bob McMahon. So we know that this is his last year as mayor, and so they have been designing an event called Tribute Under the Stars to honor the mayor, and it's going to be at Dining Under the Stars on Wednesday, September 10th, rain date the 17th, but hopefully it's September the 10th. At 6 p.m., and it's going to be at Demon Park. So there's going to be a really great way. The mayor's done so many things for us in his tenure in media, but really one of the key things that he's gotten behind and done very well is economic development and really supporting our businesses. So the NBA really wants to take a moment to honor him and the work that he's done. I mean, so much of what we enjoy on State Street has really been driven a lot by the mayor and his tenure. So there will be an event there. And as part of it, During the holidays, they have like the lamppost signs that the MBA sells, so like people can like put their business logo on it or whatever. So the MBA is going to be doing a lamppost sign program to collect tributes for the mayor. And a portion of the proceeds of the sign will go to the mayor's nonprofit of choice, which is the Veterans Legacy Project. So the signs, the ability to purchase a sign to honor the mayor will actually go live tomorrow. It'll be in e-news next week, but we're really hoping to get a lot of signs. They'll be hung like around Labor Day or prior to Labor Day, and they'll be up for a couple weeks. So as you go down State Street, you'll be able to see like really warm messages in tribute to the mayor. So really excited about this. It's just another way to honor our mayor. It's really weird to be talking about him when he's on the phone right here, but he knows about this. This isn't a surprise or anything like that. So I really encourage you guys to pencil in on your calendar September 10th on that tribute, and please consider, purchasing a lamppost sign. That is it for my liaison announcements. Now I'd like to talk about ratifying the payment of bills for June for the general fund in the amount of $247,882.73. Nothing for the liquid fuels fund. For the recreation fund, $9,159.59. For the capital fund, $91,750.44, for a total of $348,792.76. I make that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of ratifying the payment of bills for June and the amounts outlined by Vice President Romaine, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. And I just want to echo, in thanking the mayor, I can't think of a better place to do it than Dutz. He's been the champion of dining under
He's
the
the king of it.
stars. He's the king of dining under the stars. It's going to be a wonderful night.
Yeah, so he'll sound the horn at 5 p.m. and then the ceremony
Yes,
will be at
and we're going to need to
6 p.m.
make sure that he orders the same weather that he's had for the parades this year. So, yeah.
We can talk to him
Yeah,
about that.
we can work on that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Romaine? Hearing none, we'll move on to my report. It'll be brief. Planning Commission and CDC did meet since we last met, and two of the items that they heard on were involving the zoning hearing board and some potential variances. The one for 21 West Front Street, they did not have any concerns with. Council needs to take no action. But I will note that for the zoning variance for 203 East 5th, there was a request that council send its liaison, and this will be voted on when Ms. Malkoon's report comes up. The second request involved allowing a build-to line of 14 feet versus a required 25 feet. The Planning Commission moved that council not oppose the 14-foot build-to line as long as a porch is added to the plan not to encroach on that 14-foot build-to line. So that just basically means it's going to be less of a build-to setback for the property, but the porch must be beyond that setback. And I know that someone is here. If there's any questions council has, that was the one proviso that Planning Commission wanted us to share. And I want to make sure that I explain that to Councilmember Malkoon, and if anyone has any questions. We don't need to vote on it until Councilmember Malkoon's report, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Okay. All right, hearing none, that concludes my report.
Any questions for President Peikoff? All right.
All right, thank you. Moving on now to Public Safety, Recreation, and Civil Service Commission. Councilmember Kevin Boyer. Mr. Boyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have a few brief announcements. First of all, as always, 4th of July was a huge success, thanks to Rec and all the hardworking members. I think the turnout was better than ever. I had the fortune of staffing one of the water slides for a good solid 2 hours, and there were just a constant flow of kids. So it was a great time, and thanks to Rec and Jen and everybody else, Lisa and so on. So it couldn't have been any better. So I'm very happy, and thank you all for your hard work. I encourage you to look at the monthly newsletter and the website to see all the monthly events that Rec does. One of the newer ones is this coming Friday, it's a week from tomorrow, or maybe it is tomorrow, the first volleyball. Tomorrow, starting tomorrow, Friday nights, down at Borough Field. There will be pickup volleyball games, and I believe there are going to be 2 nets, so there are enough that everybody can play. So if you're interested, come on down to the field. I think that does include even using the lights, part of it, so it's a new event, so hopefully those of you who like to play volleyball, coming out and play some volleyball. I'm sure the heat won't be a big deal. Other than that, like I said, they're all the standard monthly things that REC does, so keep an eye out for all the different events that are going on. I don't have anything from civil service or public safety, other than, as Mark said, thank the police for continuing to do a good job keeping us safe. They had a presence down at the July 4th, and as always, things went really well thanks to them, so I appreciate that. The one item I have for business is to approve the mass gathering permit application for Transition Town Media's EcoFest. This is, I think, the 3rd year they're doing that. This will be on Saturday, September 27th, 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. And we need a mass gathering permit because they are going to close 5th Street between Olive and Orange Streets. That's the part that abuts against Heritage Park. So I make that in the form of a motion that we approve the mass gathering permit.
May I make a recommendation, a friendly amendment to add greater media? I think that's their title now.
I typed it as it was.
Is that what it's,
Oh, I'm not-
is that what's on the,
Greater on the mass gathering.
oh, on the permit, it did say greater? Okay, never mind that.
I'm just going with
All right, I just want to make sure that we were, that we got their name right. So, sorry about that. Motion's been made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the mass gathering permit application for Transition Town Media's EcoFest to be held on Saturday, September 27th, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Heritage Park with closure of 5th Street between Olive and Orange Streets, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Boyer? Hearing none, we'll move on to Personnel, Environmental Advisory Council, and Library. Councilmember Gelman, Lisa Gelman. Ms. Gelman.
Thank you very much. So Library has 5 new Board of Trustees members, so I want to welcome them officially to the board. They have expanded their board, so it is a larger Board of Trustees now. The EAC had held their first community outreach education meeting a couple weeks ago, where they were talking with business owners regarding black plastic and styrofoam, and I attended virtually, and I thought it went really well, and I think it's up for people to be able to view. Business owners can, or I don't know if it was emailed to them or distributed somehow, that they can watch the review, the rewind. What do they call that? The taping of it? The recording. There you go. And I don't know if that's available for council members as well, but if you get a chance, you can also tune in. So those were my liaison announcements. Number 2, we have council approved a pay study several months back, and it was discussed at personnel, and we all thought it was a really good idea to take a good look at the way our employees are being paid to make sure that we are in a market competitiveness. And we have found that there were at least 2 employees that were underpaid for their value and tenure and performance, and so much so that we would like to bring them to their minimum pay band. If those of you have seen the pay study, you will see that there are 2 people who are not yet in their minimum pay band, and it has been brought to personnel and agreed with finance that we should be increasing their pay for the next coming pay period. Is there anything to add to that? So that is, so is this like a, so that is a motion to adopt the pay study adjustments for code administrative assistant and facility maintenance worker.
Terrific. Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Long overdue, and thank you to both of those individuals for all of the hard work that you've done to keep us moving along. All those in favor of approving the pay study adjustments for Codes Administrative Assistant and our Facility Maintenance Worker, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
And lastly, also with personnel, I just want to say that I am thrilled always to be working with the employees of the borough. I think they do a fantastic job, and I couldn't be more thrilled for all of the spinning and winning that's going to happen next week for the Employee Appreciation Week. Thank you for all that you do, Ms. Manager, to make that happen, both Ms. Managers. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Gelman? Hearing none, we'll move on to Shade Tree Commission and Zoning Hearing Board. Councilmember Jen Malkoon. Ms. Malkoon.
Thank you, President Peikoff. Just a reminder for Shade Tree, if you go onto the borough's website under Shade Tree, on the right-hand side, there are a plethora of quick links, and I would encourage you to visit those links. One is to request a tree. Another is a newer quick link, request a shade tree evaluation. This is something that has just been introduced. I mentioned it before, but if you go onto the borough's website under the Shade Tree Commission, if you have questions about a tree that is on your property as a resident of the borough, you could request an evaluation. And yeah, I really encourage folks to check out the links and to just read about all the benefits of our beautiful shade trees in the borough. I will move on to my other two items here, both of which President Peikoff already explained. And I will make the zoning variance for 203 East 5th Street in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? And just as a reminder, oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask Mr. Scott, just typically we're, I just want to make sure that we're doing it properly, because typically we are not taking action if we are.
As I understand it, you're conveying a suggested condition.
Correct.
Right, I'm sorry, yeah. So, it would be, let me rephrase the motion if you don't mind. It'll be a motion to transmit to the zoning hearing board through your liaison a suggested condition that the front yard setback not exceed 14 feet, was it? Or
That any porch not encroach on that 14-foot
and that's,
setback.
okay.
I believe that's what
Yeah.
they had wanted. Okay. So,
So should I reword?
No, just say so moved.
yeah, you can just say so.
What did you say?
Just say so moved. Yeah.
So moved.
Yeah.
Motion has been made, and is there a second now?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? And thank you for clarifying. All those in favor of the language our solicitor has shared regarding the zoning variance for 203 East 5th Street, simply to have our liaison share that information with the zoning hearing board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, now for my number two. This is the zoning variance for 21 West Front Street. Council doesn't need to take an action
Correct.
on this.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, Planning Commission didn't have a problem with it. It was kind of a funky one. You know, it was a variance going against what our code enforcement officer did his job, but it didn't really apply to the situation. It was kind of an odd circumstance. But the Planning Commission understood that and don't have a problem with it.
so
No motion
no
needed.
motion. That's it.
Okay. Any questions for Councilmember Malkoon?
That concludes my report.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't think that was a report, but.
Moving on, we now have our second opportunity for public comment, privilege of the floor. Again, you can reach us by email, comments@mediaborough.com, or if you're present, you may step up to the microphone and make a statement. Have we received anything, Ms. Rapino?
No, we have not.
Is there anyone present who would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion to adjourn does not require a second. So all those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? Meeting is concluded. Thank you so much.